What's up, everybody? I hope you're having a great day and I hope you're ready for another great module. First and foremost, I want to congratulate you all on doing so well on your first films. Hero Go obstacle films turned out fantastic, and at the very end of this video, I will post some of the peers' videos for you to see. So your classmates' work will be exhibited for you, and you'll get a chance to see what they did, and you'll get to show off your work. Some of them I was having issue either downloading or getting on Premiere, so if you would like me to find a way to share yours, if yours wasn't on here, please let me know. And yeah, that is my reason for that. I always like to show your work, so that'll be a part of this class, and I'll do it on your next video that you get to do on this module as well. I'm also going to go over some tips in Premiere, just little things that we need to work on to help improve our videos and make them even better. But let's start with Module 4. So I'll go over this module, we'll do some Premiere Pro, and then I will post the videos at the end. So Module 4. First, I'd like you to notice we go October 3rd through the 18th. The 18th is a Tuesday. Now, I did this for a couple reasons. One, you're going to be filming something again, and I'd like you to put, plenty of time into filming it and make it as good as you possibly can. The other thing is, I know midterms are coming up, people are stressed, so I wanted to give you a weekend and an extra day or two to work on it. So, that being that, let's start with your lectures. We're going to be talking about production design in this module. Production design is everything you see on film. Props, color, movement of actors, locations, anything visual. It's a really cool job. Some of you who may think you want to go into this field and you have a good creative eye, being a production designer is awesome. They're usually, it goes director, cinematographer, production designer. It's an integral part of the filmmaking process, and you'll get to learn all about that. So I'd like you to watch this lecture, and it'll be a lot of fun. And it's stuff you've probably never considered. And it's something I never had either, but it really is a foundational part of understanding film, and it'll help you advance in your filmmaking as well. There's another little short color in film, just the use of color, how it can be implemented. Really cool thing. It's only about a 10-minute video. It'll be good to watch. Okay, so let's talk. The major assignment is I want you to make an experimental film. Maybe you don't know what experimental films are. Maybe you have no clue what is it. As best I can describe it, kind of like a music video, but doesn't necessarily need music. It is oftentimes it's a film with a lack of any kind of narrative structure. It's more visual. I don't mean this in a bad way at all, but some people have described weird for the sake of being weird. It's a different way of approaching the filmmaking process. It's more visceral. It evokes a mood. It creates a visceral experience for the audience. So it's kind of like an emotional journey that we go on. They'll usually focus on something abstract like happiness, joy, birth, death, life, something like that. And it's shots surrounded, put together, montaged in a certain way to evoke something in your audience. Another good way of thinking it is, have you ever been to an office or a building someplace, maybe fancy, and they have artwork on the wall, and it's sort of just paint. It's not really structured, it's just there. And it might make you happy. It might make you say, I really like that. I like the color, I like the pattern, I like the lines, whatever it might be. But it's not like, a boat where you could say that is a boat. You can't really quite put your finger on what it is. It's a different approach to painting. Well, experimental is that sort of different approach. You can kind of do a lot with it. It's really hard to teach because there's no real rules. The only rule is I want you to try, and I want you to make sure it's more than just one or two shots. So let's go over the expectation for it. So you'll be required to film an experimental short, pick an emotion or a theme, something like loneliness, joy, color, eyes, breakup, stress, faith, apathy. I've seen it all. I've seen people use figurines. You can do rain. You can do. Someone did all the colors of the rainbow once. Some just different things that are out there, and I have some examples. There's no specific rules, but you need to be able to defend your choice. And at this stage of my game, I can tell effort versus I just turned my camera on just so I get a grade. So now this is one of your bigger point assignments. You want to make sure you do a good job on it. Put forth the effort. This is for you. Your education's for you. So put forth the effort and you'll do great. Try and pick a light scheme. So high key, low key, whatever you want. It doesn't have to be in every shot, but it should be sort of significant. So you don't have to, put text on the screen to say, oh, this is what I'm doing. I can tell. Go back and watch the lecture on lighting if you can't remember high key, low key, soft lighting, hard lighting, whatever the case may be that you want to do. This is 100 points, so like I said, one of your bigger assignments. Your shots should be clear, focused, and your framing is defensible. Make sure your audio is balanced. So if you have music, make sure it's not too loud. You can have dialogue. A few people use dialogue in the hero goal obstacle. Not that that was wrong, but unless you're using good equipment, sometimes it can get distracting because a phone's just not going to pick up audio that tremendously. But do the best you can. Again, demonstrate effort. Did you just turn on your camera and get a few shots and slap it together because you forgot it was due? I can tell. So that's where you can lose some points. And was it turned in on time? Make sure you turn your phone horizontally. That's actually something we're going to talk about when we get to Premiere here in a second. But make sure we're going for a 16:9 aspect ratio. Aspect ratios are something you're going to learn about. And if all of this is confusing, well, don't worry. I gave you some examples. And here they are. This is a little, I think, like a 10-minute lecture on experimentals, the history of them, and it'll kind of give you an idea of what's out there. And then here's a link to some students in the past that I've had work on them. So you can use these examples to help you with your own. I'm trying to see, is there 2 or 3? Okay, so there's 3 on there. And I thought they turned out well. And I think it gives you an idea of the ballpark that you can play in as far as, the expectation of what to do. Again, there's no real right or wrong way of doing them. Your goal is to make me feel what you want me to feel. So we have the assignment, a video on it, and some examples right there. Also, while I'm thinking about it, I'm not going to require you to watch it, but I highly recommend the movie Tree of Life with Brad Pitt and Sean Penn and Jessica Chastain. It's a good example of kind of a non-narrative film that it did really well. It's kind of hard. It's a little bit of a hard watch, but it's also very approachable, and it's worth your time. If you have a few minutes, an hour or two to kill in the next 2.5 weeks, highly recommend this. It's not the longest thing ever, and it's very kind of inspiring the way it's done. You've probably heard me talk about it in class. It goes through the stage from the Big Bang up until modern time, it's all completely naturally lit. They didn't use any artificial light with it. And it's sort of this this ride of faith and emotion and creation and beauty and life, and it's a really good example in my mind of sort of an avant-garde film that did commercially well. I think it was nominated for Academy Award for Best Picture. But I did in theaters a few times. I went to go see it. I was starting to count the number of people who left in the middle of it, because it's not a typical film that you're going to that we're used to in Western culture, I guess you could say. It's a little bit difficult of a watch, but it's really good. If you want to grow as a filmmaker, it's one that's going to expand your horizons. Okay, that's enough sidetracking from me. So that is your experimental and your assignments. All right, so assignment 10 is going back to the idea of production design. I'd like you to rent this film, The Royal Tenenbaums, and I have it here where you have different options to get it from. They're all consistently the same, but you can look around whatever avenue you want to get it. I say that only because it's a film that I know the production design really well, and it's the best example. It's Wes Anderson. Every single thing, it's very stylized. Every single hair on the head of the cast is perfectly placed. So there's a tremendous amount of production design that went into this, from costumes to locations, the sets, everything like that was just excellently done. So after you watch the film, and just going back to this really quick, if you are having, I have in the syllabus that there'd be movies I want you to rent. It's $4 now. I get you're in college. $4 might not seem like a lot, but it might be a lot right now. If it is, just privately email me and list me like 5 movies that you do have access to. Maybe you have a Netflix account or whatever, and I'll help you pick one, but I want to make sure it's one I've seen. So we might have to do some sleuthing to find what it is. But I want you to indicate ways which the production design helped tell the story. Look at color, costume, props, location, basically anything director Wes Anderson used. So just kind of look at it. You'll start to see it. You'll start to pick up on some stuff. And it'll help you, like I said, with your own films. So watching that. So watch the movie, and then I would recommend watching this little 4-minute thing on production design, only because they give you a good example in here of part of Royal Tenenbaums. You can use this section as a jumping off point to talk about what you notice. So color, character, lighting, all that kind of stuff that changed. So watch this after you watch the movie and before you do the assignment. Number 11 assignment, quite simple. Watch this video on aspect ratio. It's also on the other page. Write 2 paragraphs, roughly 150 to 200 words, response to the information provided. And I'm not expecting an MLA style essay. What did you learn? What did you find interesting? And discuss the various forms of aspect ratio. Again, aspect ratio is the width of the screen by the height. So let's segue that into talking about Premiere. Okay, so I imported some of the videos here, and we could see this aspect ratio for this film, which was very good, but we can see something's off with the aspect ratio, right? So that's to me indicative of the phone being positioned straight up as opposed to horizontally. So make sure you're turning it horizontally so we get a 16:9 aspect ratio. So kind of like how this one is here. When you go to set up your sequence in Premiere or whatever you're using, let's drag a video into here. So I can go to sequence settings, and I could see what it is. So 1920 by 1080, that is equivalent to 16 by 9. That's just a different way. That's what you want. So you're going to come in here and you're going to change that to 1920 by 1080 if it's not already. If you're not sure, when you are starting out, it gives you options in here of what you can pick. 1080p is what you want, and then so that's that 16 by 9. That's that ratio that we're going for. We can see it right there, 16 by 9 progressive. I won't get into what progressive is because I'm throwing a lot at you, but we also want it at 24 frames per second. So early on we talked about frame rate, and that is simply, if I bring this, oh, that's the sequence. If I bring this in here and watch when I scale in, each click represents a frame. So I have to hit this 30 times to make 1 second. All right. And that's frame rate. That's simply what it is. It's just frames per second. What we want to do is we want all these videos to be in 24 frames per second. And the reason we want that is you get a little bit more motion blur on your videos. And that's what film is shot in. It's shot in 24 frames per second. So you can see right here, 23.976. That's 24. I picked 24. So I can tell this one, the more frames there are, this is a 60 frame per second video. And it's gonna look more like a soap opera. It's gonna look more like a handy cam because it's got more frames in there. So there's less blur. So as, say, the arm is moving, there's just a twinge of little blur to it, and that's what we call like cinematic. So if you shot on your iPhone or something, you're gonna have to Google how to create a video in 24 frames a second. I have an iPhone SE, which is kind of older, and it allows me to change the frame rate. So just Google whatever camera you're using. Probably, like from the look of it, most of them are phones. Totally fine. Just make sure you find a way to set it to 24 frames a second. Now the other thing I could do, let's see if it'll let me change. In my sequence settings, right now it's set to go to 30 frames a second. And that's, again, more like a commercial. It's going to be crisp. It's going to be clean. That's why sporting events, they look really crisp and clean. They shoot at a high frame rate. I don't think it's going to, let's see if it'll let me change it here. Okay, I'm going to go 23.976. Okay, I bring it in. It's going to tell me clip does not match the sequence setting. Change this sequence. I'm going to keep my existing and let it play back. And so what it does is it goes in and it's taking out those frames. And it's going to make it look a little bit more cinematic. So that's one thing to work on. The other is, let me turn this down so it's not too loud. When you're shooting in a location, so like this is outside, you're picking up all sorts of different noises beyond people talking.
Man, my homework's little bitch.
As I'm going between shots like that, when it switches, you have to lay down what's called room tone or ambient noise. So what you do is just at your location, it doesn't matter if you're indoors or outdoors, tell everybody to shut up for a minute and just record as close to between, let's say, 30 seconds and a minute of audio, just the room. Just, whatever is going on in that room. You don't need the video with it, just audio. And then you'll bring in the audio. So let's say, I'm going to unlink these. Let's say this is that audio that I got of the outdoors. I'm just going to lay it down I'm going to give it its own channel. and I'm gonna just find a happy little spot for it to be way down low. You barely need to hear it. So, and you just gonna have to do it kind of by ear, put headphones in or something. So, and this is just an example. Obviously, I don't want to do it, but now what that does is then when you go and you edit your shots and you put them together and everything like that, it'll get rid of these tiny little. You'll hear it as the shots come together, and that's just simply when you said cut on the first shot and action on the next shot. There's different audio that's going on. Your microphone's picking up sounds outside differently. If you're inside, maybe it's picking up an air conditioner or something like that. So any noises like that that you can get rid of will be, really important. So make sure the two big takeaways is make sure you're checking your aspect ratio. So that you're at 16 by 9, and in this case it's just turning the phone the other way, and try getting that good ambient room tone whenever you're out somewhere. Just place it down as your bass and you'll be like, oh wow, my audio sounds so much better. It just blends it together, just brings it together differently. Okay, well I'm going to put all these on the end of this lecture here for you to look at. And I hope you have a good week. Let me know if you have any questions. All right, take care, everyone.
Do I have my homework, little bitch? Leave me alone. Leave me alone! Hey!
Bullying isn't nice. Don't do it.
What now?
You need to say sorry to him.
Sorry.
Yeah. So let's go over there.
Marius. I'm sorry for what I did. I didn't want to smack your cookies. I know they mean a lot to you, and I promise you it won't happen again. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Yeah.
What's up, bro? You ain't seen you in so long, bro. It's been a long time. What you watching?
Jeffrey Dahmer documentary.
What is it about?
Psycho.
Psycho?
Psycho. Beating people hearts. Killing people.
Bro, that's crazy. I ain't even seen that stuff. That's so crazy, bro. I'm gonna let you know, bro. John, come on, man. Jay, you okay? I think they did, bro. I think they did. I feel no pulse, bro. I feel no pulse. All right. Jay, come on. Come on. Man, I ain't do it. I'm innocent, bro. Shut up. I'm innocent, bro. Shut up. I didn't do it. It was him. Great job, sir. Great job. Great job.
I am just so hungry. I can't find my Cheez-Its anywhere. I gotta find my Cheez-Its to satisfy my hunger. Are those my Cheez-Its? What are you doing with my Cheez-Its? I'm hungry. I'll show you how I feel about dirty little thieves. I have no sympathy for dirty little thieves. That's a fact.
Adrian! Go! Save yourself!
Y'all can come in.
Hey boss, how you doing?
All right, how you doing? What's up? What's up? You all right? Yeah.
How y'all doing today?
Pretty straight.
All right, so
So I noticed that both of y'all have been doing pretty good at your job. Y'all been here for a while.
yeah,
Noticed that y'all progress has really been improving each week. So I was here to talk to you guys about a promotion.
and I wanted you two to tell me why y'all think y'all should have the promotion.
Well, I can say that my stats have went up 2.5 in the last month. And I just wanted to show you that. And I think I would be perfectly qualified for it. I've been interning all summer. I've been taking night classes. I've been really improving with my job. And I feel like I would be perfect for this. And I feel like my stats have just been increasing and increasing. And I feel like it's a great asset to this company.
Okay.
So I just really think you
So
should.
Jason, why do you think you should get the job position?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, I just been here for like 3 weeks now. Not as long as hell, but I'm still putting in the work, you know, and I just feel like, I need more money. So, like, why not? Go and try and see. So, like, yeah, I just think I could be a manager. I feel like I could lead these people, even though they don't really do nothing.
Okay. Well, I appreciate y'all for giving me y'all time. So I'll keep in contact with both of y'all, and yeah, I'll see y'all Monday.
Okay.
See y'all Monday.
See ya.
All right. Hey, Jason, you mind coming back real quick?
What's good?
All right. I just wanted to let you know. I didn't want to say this in front of her, but you were pretty laid back.
Yeah.
You gave decent information, but you was pretty honest with me, and I appreciate that.
So.
But honestly, I kind of want like a man in the position of man. We gotta lead, so that's how we gotta do things, though. But you got it, man. Appreciate it.
Hey,
All right.
that's good, my boy.
All right. See you later.
Are you kidding me? Dang it! Ah, let's go. Dang it! Get around it. Get around it. Get around it. Dang it! Get around. Get around it. Get around it. Let's go. That's a good shot. Let's go.
Look, I got some flowers. There's some flowers.
Oh, cute. Where'd you get these?
From my friend Ghost. From my friend Ghost.
From your friend Ghost?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get away from that ghost.
Brody, why are you so sad? Your friend Ghost? I'm sorry. I thought he was a mean ghost.
No.
He's a nice ghost?
Yeah, you gave us flowers.
Well, why don't I go apologize to your friend Ghost? Okay. Ghost? Listen. I'm sorry. I judged your book by its cover. Do you forgive me? The kids really, really miss you.